Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Sarah with Jujube Crafts and More. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm taking part in the monthly flower challenge. This challenge is hosted on the 7th of every month by DIY Deanna, the crafty magnolia, and this month her co-host is Daysi DIY. I'll leave both of their channels and the playlist in my description box down below. Make sure you go check out their channels in the playlist for lots of great inspiration. Today's flower is the daffodil or the jonquil. So I'll be creating a jonquil, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with some of this Sculpey clay. This is a package that I picked up from Walmart for about 10 bucks, and these are some tools I had on hand. Now I'm showing you that you don't need any fancy tools. That little pink tool I picked up from the Dollar Tree in the Crafter Square section, and this is just the end of a paintbrush, which will work great for just a little bit of sculpting. You could also use something like this glue pen to roll out your clay. So I'm just taking a bit of this clay, and this is super soft clay. It stays soft until you bake it. And I'm just going to section off about 6 pieces. Well, no, not about 6 pieces. I am going to section off 6 pieces that are about the same size. That's what I meant to say. So I'm just going to roll them into a ball in my hand, and then I will take that ball and I will gently apply pressure on one end of it to create a teardrop shape. And we're going to do that to all 6 of these pieces of clay. Now, if you wanted a lighter color, you could always mix this yellow with some white to get a lighter color. You just have to mix it up pretty well, and then you can change the color easily. Now, again, you don't have to buy this big package that I bought from Walmart. You can pick these up individually at any craft store. And if you use a coupon, they're really pretty inexpensive. So here's my little roller that I use. Again, use anything that you have on hand that is in a cylinder shape. And you're just gonna roll these little teardrops out. And I'm gonna roll them out to about 1/8 of an inch. I'm not too precise on this. I don't want them to be thick, but I don't want them to be too thin either because you don't want them to fall apart. So, and then I'm just gonna play with the shape a little bit, making that teardrop shape a little more prominent. And here you can see how thick I got it. And I'm gonna do that to each one of those teardrops. And then I'm gonna take the end of this tool. It's got kind of a sharp end on it, and I'm just going to create some lines for you know, a little dimension in this flower petal. I don't want it to be completely flat because flowers are not flat like that usually, and it kind of gives that petal shape. So I'm just lightly using that tool to create some little lines, and you'll see here in just a few minutes, I'll show you a close-up of the flower after we get it all put together, and you will be able to see those striation marks in the clay. Just using light pressure. And then I'm just going to kind of soften out all the edges with this little tool. Again, just use your finger if you don't have one of these little round tools, or just any kind of, just look around your space. You'll probably find stuff that you could use easily to create these little flowers. Next, I'm going to create the center. So I'm taking a bit of this orange clay, and I'm just going to kind of roll it into a bit of a cylinder shape. Not too much, just a little bit. And then I'm going to put that rounded end of that tool inside the clay to create the little bell part of the flower. And just keep pushing down and using your hands to manipulate the clay so that it does what you want. You just have to use light pressure because, again, it's kind of thin, and that's how you want it. You don't want it to be too thick or it will take a really long time to bake. So then I'm just going to use that tool to kind of flatten down the end. And then I'm going to create the little scallopy shapes. Like if you look at a jonquil or a daffodil in the inside, they've got the little center part has kind of like a scallopy, flowy shape. So that's what I'm creating here with this tool. And I apologize if my voice is a little cracky today. I have allergies and I live in the country in the woods, and people have been burning their all of their limbs and stuff from winter. So I'm really having a hard time with the smoke. I'm really allergic to wood smoke. So I apologize. So I'm just gonna keep like using this tool. I'm just gonna put some little striations on the inside and the outside just to create a little dimension, just to make it look a little more realistic. Now I am in no way, shape or form a clay artist. I've actually never made one of these flowers before, so if I can do this, I think pretty much anybody can. So to put our little flower together, we're gonna take 3 petals and we're just going to put them in like, you know, a peace sign shape, you know, in thirds, basically. And I'm just gonna use my fingers to press down lightly in the middle. And then the other 3 petals, we're just gonna place in between the bottom petals. So you can see what I'm doing here on this. And I'm just using very light pressure to push those down. You don't want to push all the clay, you know, like push it all the way down. So you just want to create a little bit just to kind of adhere it together, and then our center will go on. So one thing I've learned from watching other YouTubers do clay is use a cross-hatch pattern where you're going to attach one piece to another. And this is just like clay glue. Basically, you put it on and then you bake it, and it's like glue. But you could bake these separately and then hot glue them together, or you could use super glue or E6000 if you didn't have this Sculpey glue. And you could probably actually bake it, you know, just push it together like I was doing there and bake it, and it would be just fine. So I'll follow the directions on my packaging to bake this up. I just put it in a pan lined with aluminum foil. And the instructions for this was 275 for 15 minutes of a 1/4 inch thickness. So it's really easy, super low oven heat, and it'll bake up and harden. So I'm just playing with the petals just to kind of get them how I want them. Flowers aren't perfect, so if they're not all symmetrical, that is totally okay. It makes it look more realistic if everything is a little different. So here it is all baked up. And to stylize this, I'm going to take one of these glass bowls from the Dollar Tree. This is one of the like mid-size bowls. I think they come in 3 sizes. So this is like the medium-sized one. And then I'm just putting in some of this reindeer moss. I love reindeer moss for spring because it's so bright and fresh feeling. And then I'm going to put one of these little wood rounds that the Dollar Tree had at one point, but you could use a rock or some other element if you don't have one of these, or you can get a stick from your yard if you have one. Take one of these little ceramic bunnies. These are from the DIY, like paint it yourself ornaments that you can buy. I'll put my little Jonquil right in there. And then I'm going to add in a couple of little sprigs of the Walmart lavender. I really love this lavender from Walmart. It's just so pretty and versatile, and it just adds a pop of color to anything. And here it is. I think this would be just absolutely perfect for a centerpiece, for like your Easter centerpiece, or it could go on a mantle or just wherever you want a little decoration. So that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Hey, if you haven't subscribed already, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you could be notified every time I upload a new video, and I will catch you on the next time. Hope you have a happy, healthy, and blessed day. Bye!